Give me a second, guys. It's going to be a black screen because we're clean overlays today. Just give me a second. This is your intro. Yeah. Enjoy. All right, we're back. Hello. And we're in. All right, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Let's get going with Amnoon. Oh, you guys can't hear the game. Or can you hear the game? This is going to be weird, okay? Basically, OBS is totally cleared out. 100%. We should stat select Azaric now, so that he's a little bit more effectual against the Choya Pinata. Maybe we could run the freaking glyph above ground. No. PvP's getting into my head, and I'm starting to think that things are good when they're not good for PvE. Yeah, can you guys hear the game? Let's hear a round of applause for me and the top quality stream if you can hear the game. I'm guessing you can't. It's weird seeing the chat box. Yeah, I guess it might be weird. You know, it's not necessary for any Twitch stream, by the way, because you can just do this. I have a tab set up called Clean, and it just has everything toggled off. I do this in videos, and then I just turn that. And the only user interface that actually appears here is this. The thing is, if someone was to try and contact you, they won't be able to. Wait, you can't. So let's do it this way. Audio output capture. Create one, Guild Wars audio. See, it used to be in OBS that it would. So I can't select it to be a specific window. So I guess I'll just put it to my desktop. This has the downside of you guys will probably be able to hear, you know, like if I play a YouTube video or whatever. But maybe that's a perk actually. Maybe that's good. There you go. Yeah, I added it. I know it's working now. I knew it wasn't before. Or I was pretty sure it wasn't before. It would have been a cool new feature if you had been able to hear, so I just needed to confirm that. But yeah, lost track of what I was saying. We're doing oh yeah, the chat thing. The reason I actually do the chat box is I just like the potato for a bit of flavor, really. Ideally, I do try to keep the game as clean as possible. And I do try to let you just see everything naturally. I like the idea of clean streams, though. I think this has got a certain value to it. It's particularly got a value in terms of if I streamed just like this, and if I worked out my mic quality as well, because it's a bit worse on streams, I think. If I did this, it would be really easy to just pull moments from the stream and put them on VODs and stuff. But listen, guys, there are no notifications on screen whatsoever today. So if you sub or if you donate, the only person who's going to know is me, because I'm going to try and keep refreshing my own personal little page that shows me these things. But in general, it's not going to be something others will see. So if you do it, you're going to have to type in chat, WP, check your subs and notifications. You're going to have to do that, right? Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. But apparently 11 minutes ago, Darg did. He said, as instructed yesterday, this will be my final tip. Be sure to shield donations so the legacy carries on, he says. He did that before the stream even started, so I don't know. I don't know how that's a thing. Is he really tired and he's gone to bed? So yeah, just wait with whatever or don't do it. You know, if you're doing it because you want a little bit of funsies, then yeah. And if someone comes in a few minutes and does it and gets upset and worried, can you guys in chat just do me a favor and explain the situation? That'd be really cool. So yeah, well, what have I got to talk about in terms of Master? Well, Yesterday I was looking at tonics a little bit while playing the game. And I realized that there's an infinite gin tonic in the game. But the only way to acquire it, I'm pretty sure it's not the trading post, is you have to get it as a rare drop from a gin event in the Corner Living World release. So that's kind of a bitch, to be honest, because now I think you're guaranteed to get the non-infinite one, the non-endless one, the non-everlasting one, whatever phrase they deem to use in this situation. I think you're guaranteed to get that, but to get the infinite one, I don't know what the drop rate is pretty low. I was wondering in chat if you guys know at all what whether you've ever had that, whether that's ever dropped, because then I'll know, oh, okay, it is possible to get, you know, within the realms of reality. Has anyone ever got that? An infinite gin tonic from Corner? Well, okay, no, it's not Corner. It is, see, this is the problem. It's the Jahai Bluffs, sorry. It's Guild Wars 2's Jahai Bluffs, which is Corner. But it's not the domain of Corner, as Guild Wars 2 packaged the regions. It's the Jahai Bluffs. It's the event where you help a djinn called, like, Zemniani or whatever. And it takes you to the brand, and it's like a big boss fight where you have to break some brand crystals. It's an event that the first time you do it, that character will go join your son's refuge. An aspect of my account progression, by the way, that I've still done very minimal stuff on. Ratchy said I did it the third time I did the event. Yeah, you're talking about the endless one, Ratchy? Yeah, I'm having a lot of trouble with the jumps. This will be one of those days where if I chose to do racing, I would not do well, I think. The title of the new video references a clip that's not actually in the video. I'm pretty sure it does. There's a Guild Wars 1 section in there, isn't there? I didn't open the wrong file, did I? Are you sure about that, Doug? Because I literally watched it. Well, I didn't watch it. I skimmed through it, remembering what all the different clips were and thinking which one I wanted to pick. And I'm pretty sure the Guild Wars 1 section was there, where I was talking about that. I know a few people have got it says comment. Okay, alright, so it's not crazy. So that's good. See, I'm really not good about these things. If it's not on the trading post, and it's account bound, and it's a random drop from a mob, they tend to not be too insane about stuff. I'm remembering the previous compilation. No, I'm not remembering the previous compilation. The only thing, what will have happened is I will have clicked the wrong compilation, I guess. Is that even possible? Have I uploaded the wrong one? Is the actual compilation the new one, Doug? Or have I re-uploaded the old one? In which case, obviously, I have to pull it. Doug, do me a favour. If that title is wrong, I'm trusting you wholly here with the video. If that is wrong, in Twitch chat, here and now, give me a better clip. Give me a different one that's associated with the new compilation. Actually, give me 3 and I'll pick the best one, because I probably won't like whatever you go with. Make them snappy as well. Whatever they are, not too many words. Have it something that sort of, you know, intrigues people. Not too trolly and jokey. Not too aggressive. Something along those lines. All right, there you go. That's your criteria. And then we'll see what you come up with. And if you're absolutely right, I'll change it on the fly while doing the stream without even verifying what you're saying. I'll do it. And if the sky falls down, I'm blaming you. In a lot of ways, it's kind of, you know, he's got a lot of creative control over that video because he picked the clips, right? So I'm happy for him to have that little quote title in this event, since, you know. No. Don't do any BuzzFeedy nonsense. Not that I even necessarily have much against BuzzFeedy nonsense, but I remember once when I was experimenting with some, like, top 10-y kind of things and thinking, will I get more views on easier productions if I, you know, make stuff like Mythbusters and Did You Know and all these kinds of things. And I titled, they were basically top 5s and top 10s. So I titled the videos as such, but apparently that's clickbait. Apparently you can't do that. So like one potential name for that series would be Best Moments, best moments from WP, but, you know, number one, it's quite presumptuous, and maybe it holds the video to a standard it will not keep once people have actually watched it. But also, you know, apparently that's BuzzFeedy. Apparently you can't do that. Okay, that last one's good. The other two were hideous, but that last one's good. Okay, if I get gold, I'll be furious. That's a good one. Well done. If I get gold, I'll be furious. I'm not all capsing it, though. That's good, because it's got a double meaning. People will think, what? Why doesn't he want money? Why doesn't he want gold? And then they'll watch it and they'll think, oh, he's talking about adventures. And then they'll realize, oh, that's actually an interesting... That's a funny moment that also sheds a light on an interesting dimension of the game and how we feel about difficulty with Guild Wars. Everything is perfect. It's a good title. Well done. Those Mythbusters videos were good. I'm glad you think they were good. I really enjoyed making those. What I realized, though... well, I realized a lot of things, but one of the main things that sprung to my mind is I was running out of stuff quite quickly. I kind of did a lot of the really compelling ones. With that series, what I actually did was I wrote up a list of about 50 to 60 interesting facts on Guild Wars, right? Because I needed to know it had legs before I started. I needed to know I could do it for a while. And the idea was just pick like 5 or whatever for an episode. And, you know, if I could get a list of, like, 50 or 60, I knew I had at least 10 parts in me, and it was worth doing. Because, you know, you release a part a week, that's a good, you know, that's a good little section of, you know, that's like over a month. 2 months, it's a good little chunk of the year right there, where you've got, like, a little thing going out. So, that was the idea. I wrote my list up, but as I wrote the list, I became quickly aware some of the suggestions were really good, and some of them were less good. And I tried to cover different areas. So I'm gonna give you guys a fact about Guild Wars here, and maybe tell me if you find it interesting or not. In the original Battle of Kylo, now when this video is going out, it was the original Battle of Kylo. So let's pretend that old Clock Tower is there, right? In the original Battle of Kylo, that it had windows, destructible terrain, windows at the Clock Tower, and you'd attack them and they'd shatter, and then you'd go through, and that would be the end of it. They were like one-shot things. You'd swing an auto attack at it, you'd break the window, you'd move on. Funnily enough, though, if you found a way to do a packet of damage really, really, really low, so like 1 tick of damage from a flame wall, or a fleck from like just something really minor, it wouldn't fully destroy the window. It would actually do damage to the window, and it turned out the windows had health bars. Okay, now is that interesting? That they actually had assigned health. Is that interesting? To me, that's interesting, right? Some of you guys might be like, that's not interesting. You're probably clouded by the fact that that's not even in game anymore, so whatever. But the realization that they're not just, you know, one health things, which is how they'd always been treated, it was interesting. But I'll do you one further. Okay, here's the extra thing. If you successfully did a little bit of damage without breaking it, there was actually a whole animation. There was a whole state the window could be in where it was fractured but not destroyed. So there was a whole, like, visual tell that some artist had made and put on those windows most players had never seen, because you'd always DPS through the fractured state, because any attack would always instantly shatter the window, and you'd never see that middle state. But there was a middle state, and it looked like a half-broken window. That was also true. That's, you know, and and I think that's extremely interesting now. I think that whole thing's really interesting, but maybe you're still in the camp where you think it's not. So, you know, there was a lot of stuff where, like, I had a list of about 60 different things, and some of it I thought was really extremely interesting. Some of it I thought less so, and I knew the community would have, like, different opinions around that, right? Like, you know, what I find compelling is not necessarily a fact of the universe. So, I knew all of this, and once I was done with the list, I looked down and I realized the ones I really liked, I really, really, really liked, and the other ones I just didn't feel very strongly about at all. And so it came to making the videos, and what tended to happen was the first few ones I did, I picked what were, in my opinion, the cream of the crop, the really good ones. I was like, the video's not good enough yet. And I was like, oh, it's only got 5. I need to put like 6 in there or something. It's not good enough yet. Oh, it's not good enough yet. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And so I ended up sort of exhausting all the really good ones. And I came to sit down on like episode 4 maybe, or 5 or whatever it was. I don't remember how many parts I did in the end. And I looked through my list, and I had loads of things on there. But I just thought, ugh, these are all so lame. These are so bad. These are so uninteresting. And I couldn't bring myself to doing any more episodes. It might have been that those were still interesting. But in the end, shelved it. That's pretty much the situation. Oh, Matthew Medina has his own site now. It's weird reading Matthew's site and the original Path of Fire drafts of the missions he worked on. I'm kind of undecided if it's a good or bad thing that originally Balthazar was more ruthless, so that he'd kill Devonna and consume her soul when she crawled to ask for his help after Desmina's boss battle with us, the original sacrifice. Oh, interesting. I think that works really well if they clarify, if the Lissa idea or the Menzies idea and stuff, if that ends up real, then I think it's cool. But if that doesn't end up real, if they don't give us that kind of deeper, cooler connection about his insanity and his monstrousness, then no, I don't think making him a monster was a good thing. Maybe we can get this before it ends. We've got 3 seconds. You guys ready? It all depends on the mount wheel. No, it doesn't. We just don't have time. Alright, well, I didn't do very well on the coins today, but I think it's alright. This is going to be, as hopefully you guys saw in my video yesterday, this is going to be a part of the meta event. This is one of the selected meta event madness events. So, starting from tomorrow's stream, we're going to get the new upgraded rewards. Oh, do you know what? I've just realized I made a mistake on that video. The blog post said gameplay tweaks, didn't it? Not reward tweaks, gameplay tweaks. So maybe more tweaks are coming. Mind you, no, maybe I wasn't wrong, because there were gameplay tweaks on the previous patch. Anyway, yeah, we'll get extra reward out of this. One other thing I want to say about the Balthazar thing is, if this season was written to kind of be the end, kind of be a finale, that means maybe there really wasn't going to be further justification for Balthazar's fall. Maybe they really were just going to lean on he's the god of war, so he's an arsehole. Which I don't think was a correct characterization based on established information. As much as the devs have kind of suggested otherwise, they've been like, no, this is what he was like, what? And, you know, you can look at the, what's his name isn't Mordecai, or is it Mordecai? See, I'm having a problem here where there's a character in Borderlands 2 called Mordecai, and now I don't know what's what. But, I love how heavy we're hitting for power damage right now. 20k churn in Earth feels good, man. I guess it's because we're on Scott. Okay, so this guy. Backpacks are really interesting to stat select now, I guess, right? Yeah, goddamn. Well, it was a Zerk set. The item itself is a quiver of 1,000 arrows. So I guess I'll slot this in. Listen, I don't know how to. I don't know what my problem is here. That dinging. I'm really sorry about that, guys. Is that actually coming through? Because I could not watch a stream that was doing that. I don't know what audio device is supposedly getting plugged in and out constantly. There isn't an audio device getting plugged in and out constantly. It's definitely not my big mic. You guys would have known about that if that was a problem. How can I mute that? How can I mute this goddamn Action Center notification? It is, but you don't mind. I would really mind about that. Sorry, guys. See, in the volume mixer, I'm not seeing. All right, well, whatever. No, because I would keep thinking it's my PC. If I was watching this stream, I know some of you are on mobile, I know some of you are in the car or whatever, but I would think that's my PC. I would think it's my car braking, guys. It's not acceptable. All right, let's just go Berserker. Okay, was that the only one that you needed? He still has a weak sword, so we could slowly work this stuff out, I guess. But that's okay. Also, I just want to open up the boxes we've been getting. Sentient seeds. They're not auto-opening, are they? Wait, why do I only have one Oasis Hero's Choice chest? I haven't opened any of these on Azuric for days, have I? I haven't picked an amalgamated gemstone for days. So why does it only have one? Am I wrong about that? No, I've definitely not been picking up amalgamated gemstones. Whoa, we just had a big host. I do not have overlays on this stream, so that's not going to appear on stream, but I did see it, luckily. Dixon, with 82 people? Thank you so much, man. Welcome, everyone. People are really, host-friendly at this time of the day. I'm guessing it's because people are getting off to go to bed or whatever. Also, it's OCX Prime, isn't it? Right now. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome. We're looking a little bit at some of the meta event stuff, but we're going to be moving on to Skyscale acquisition in a second. Some Griffin racing. Just little things. I can mute the sound by going into Windows settings from my start page, system notifications and actions. I will do that very, very, very soon. All right. Well, let's see. So I don't know what that's all about. I really felt like I had more. I can't believe that I've only got the one amalgamated. In the meantime, though, I do also want to quickly check how many, because with that coin collection done now, I think, I might be wrong, and maybe we didn't collect enough today, but I'm pretty sure we've got enough now for the next item. You're from the States, just had a late night, enjoy the stream. Thanks very much, man. I hope you get a good night's sleep. I really do. Okay, so I'm interested in purchasing... Shit, no, we're... Oh, what? Am I insane? Am I on the wrong character? It's only reading that we have 268. I must be on the wrong character. Azuric is not who we've been doing the casino on. Or did we buy one yesterday? We didn't buy one yesterday. We had a whole stack in here. Are these depositable? No. Am I going insane? What is actually happening here? Let me see. Did I buy something yesterday? I don't think I bought something yesterday. Alright, I'm gonna do a Griffin race while chat tries to help me on this. And then hopefully my brain speeds up and I'll figure it out. Watch stream first or clip compilation first? Decisions. Yeah, I know, I really shouldn't do that. I shouldn't I very often do that though. I publish a video right as the stream goes up. My hope is that people over on YouTube will see the video and then they'll think, oh yeah, that was kind of cool. And maybe they'll come here. In fact, I could leave a comment on that right now and say, oh, hey guys, I'm live right now. But that's a bit weird. That X should duck down. Yeah, that screwed me. I shouldn't have done that. And then I hit the side, so just quick reset on this. React on the stream and then put on YouTube again. No, look guys, we're not going to be judgmental. Alright, I'm really trying to not be so judgmental. Okay, let's ignore that conversation yesterday. Anything is legitimate as long as it gets views, alright? Let's just be pragmatists about this. The market decides. Let the people's eyeballs decide. That felt like a really good one. What was our time? Oh, we leveled up purely from Griffin races. Oh, well, no, we did that a while ago. It didn't show. What? Am I not even on the leaderboard? Show me what my position was. That felt really fucking fast. Griffin mount required. That just felt so smooth with the bond of faith at the end. I'm number 2. I'm number 2, guys. That's not bad, eh? 173 lifetime. I'm so many seconds away. This is an old buddy of mine. Unfortunately has to work too much now, and I don't get to see him very much. Hopefully when Halo comes out on Steam, though, I'll be able to play with him a bit. But he's 24 seconds. I don't see boots on this one, guys. I don't see boots on this. You did buy the Choya Pinata tonic the day before. Oh, okay, did I really? Alright, well, that makes sense. Griffin? 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 No, no Griffin. Another day, another disappointment. Alright. Okay, so Skyscale is the big thing I want to finish today. But I'm wondering if we can squeeze something else in. And here's what I want to squeeze in. I want to see if that legendary Jin is up, and I want to kill it if it is. Let's play that on Spellbreaker. You just need to have pictures of women with low-cut shirts for your thumbnails, and you'll get tons of views. I think that's a bit old school now, honestly. I don't really know people who still do that. I know a pretty big example of someone who did that in their early days to clickbait, and then quickly transitioned away from it to do, like, cerebral content. That's the channel Vsauce. Yeah, that's what they did. They used to do, really, like, kind of gross stuff. At least I seem to remember that. I might be wrong at this point. It's been so many years. I doubt my own information. We're going to... For some reason, my temptation was to go to Divinity's Reach. We'll need your guys' help with this, so we'll squad up. Oh, Twitch fails, still do it all the time. Oh. See, that's me thinking that people have sort of moved on from it, but really it's just I'm so allergic to... There's a lot of videos on YouTube that just purely based on how they're titled and what their thumbnail is, I will never, ever, ever, ever in a million years click. I just will not. There's a lot of videos. If it's... And that's just my stupid own pathetic little way of being like, do you know what? I'd rather not further this. So let's see. Legendary is not available. Oh, it is. Okay, yeah, we could definitely do this. All right, guys. As often with the streams. Oh, we're on NA at the moment. I'm going to have that tricky moment, aren't I? I'm guessing... All right, look. Let's just make it NA. NA, you can... All these people that are joining are going to be EU, all right? And you can already see that we have one NA guy and we have 6 EU guys, all right? You're outnumbered 1 to 6 North Americans. I'm pretty sure anyway. Maybe they'll arrive. A lot of them are in different maps. Can we just join and see what we get? Alright, North America, can you pull the numbers to do a legendary bounty? We only need a couple of you. One of the reasons I'm hesitant to swap is because I loathe this stuff. You know, having to swap regions. But also, I don't have any overlays set up today. So you would just be looking at a black screen while we account swap. And it's just going to be awful. Yeah, but the thing is, there's very much a sort of strength in numbers on the internet that really, you know, I can say to myself, don't click, and I'm helping, or whatever. Helping to combat it. I'm a warrior. I'm an internet warrior helping to combat the evil YouTube videos that we should not be watching. I could do that, but the truth is, you know, you're so vastly outnumbered that it doesn't really matter, and numbers are what counts on internet. It's kind of weird. I think it affects people's... it validates a lot of people's viewpoints about the world that are really quite juvenile and they shouldn't have. Like, I saw a Reddit thread a couple of days ago about some judge, right? Okay, so this is a serious story. This isn't a joke, okay? Just to be clear, I'm not joking about anything here. This is a serious and interesting thing to me. There was a court case where some 19-year-old boy, or, you know, some teenager, I think he was at college or something, an athlete at college, and that's a big thing in the States, right? Obviously, we've got loads of people in the squad, so we could do this NA, by the way. He'd essentially raped a girl, right? She had been drunk, she'd been passed out, and he'd abused her. And he'd been arrested, and he had a trial, and people were expecting him to be put away for a while, right? But he got a very, very short sentence, and the judge said that, you know, he had this athlete career that he needed to get out quickly so that he could continue doing his sports, right? And the judge kind of let him off. Now, that's reprehensible. Now, that is very bad. Now, that is a dangerous example and something any society should seek to avoid, right? Everyone understands this. This is fine. But what really amazed me was in the Reddit thread for this story, the judge had been, like, demoted or whatever. The judge had been thrown out. Now, the reason why is because people in that district or that area, whatever it was, you can tell I've got really good information on this. People in the community had petitioned for it. So people had heard about this and this judgment that this judge had made, and people had petitioned. They had got together, they'd signed. Lots of people had declared that he should not have this position anymore. And because lots of people declared it, it was, you know, that it came to be. Now, I think probably the reality of the situation is the petition itself did not necessarily... All right, let's walk towards it. Did not necessarily influence things over in the real world. It was probably the petition signal boosted the issue to the point where higher authorities and people with the qualification and the judgment were able to strip this man of his position. And you might argue rightly so. I'm not arguing about whether it was right to strip him or whatever. But what was amazing was this Reddit thread where you now have all the facts of the case, and it's about this petition that got this judge removed. And there's all these people cheering about the strength of this petition and that it's like super important and that we need to petition for all kinds of other stuff. And people were given all, you know, cheering and roaring happily and applauding this. Because people seem just to have and I think the internet does fuel it because everything's just about numbers. Everything's about weight of argument is offered through strength of numbers, right? Argumentum ad populum. And that's so dangerous. But there were all these people just saying, oh, yeah, we need to do petitions for this. We need to get this guy out of power. We need to do this. And just completely ignoring the way the real world should work and has been constructing itself, which is that people get positions because they're qualified for them and because they may have insights you don't. And just because a lot of people are saying something doesn't mean that their judgment supersedes someone who's dedicated their life into looking into a particular, you know, area of governance or area of law or whatever. Right, like these things are important. It's not mob rule, but it was just amazing the way people were talking about it because they were arguing so vigorously and like honorably for what is essentially just mob rule. And I think people don't really stop to criticize that very much. And there are a couple of people who are like, this is really stupid, basically saying what I'm saying, you know, casting doubts on it. But you know, they're at the bottom. They don't have any upvotes. No one's looking at their comments. And so just the way this stuff's structured, and I think that, yeah, the nature of the internet sort of leads people to some dangerous place without realizing, right? And I don't know, just I get that sense quite a lot online now. I get that sense that people feel very deeply about, you know, just strength of numbers. And the internet's all about going online to validate your opinion with strength of numbers. Like, to an extent, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm hoping to look at chat and people say, yeah, WP, you're so right. You're so right. And I'm like, oh, look, at least there's some people with sense, right, in my little echo chamber. In a big way, the internet's all about that. And I wonder, you know, as the internet's this big, profound thing that really affects the world and will continue to over the coming years. I wonder whether society, our culture, in the Western world, in, you know, internet-oriented societies, not just the Western world, obviously, but, you know, developed countries, first world countries. I wonder what dangerous places it will lead us. But yeah, I see little glimpses of this sometimes. Anyway, there you go. That's my story. I can't even remember why we segued into it. But this Jinn, the idea is you kill him. Everyone who's doing this, if you want value out of this, after he's dead, what's going to happen? I'm going to turn the game down just a little bit more, by the way, because you probably can't hear. After he's dead, he's going to offer us a riddle, and the riddle is going to change every day. You need to do it like 5 separate days, not in a row or anything, just 5 times over your Guild Wars career. Come to this guy and answer his riddle, and you should be good. No, Smitsky, I definitely... look, you're missing the point. If you're even asking me that question, no one's going to argue that incompetent judges shouldn't be held accountable. It's not just about judges. Incompetence should be held accountable. People should be held accountable. But it should be done through higher authority and through educated people and people in positions that, you know, they're in a place of understanding. This stuff shouldn't be dictated by population weight, right? But that's exactly what I'm trying to express. People miscalculate those two things. And it's because on the internet... Oh, we segued into it because we were talking about viewership and stuff. Because on the internet, success is weight of population. It's pure stats. That's all it is. The more successful Twitch streamer is the one who gets more donations. The more success... Or gets more views, or has more subs, or has more followers. And people are totally blind to all context beyond that. You know, like, when you hit that, when you pass that 100,000 subscriber mark on YouTube, you get so many offers from all these fucking crazy places that have absolutely no care or understanding or bearing on anything. They just see there's a number, and that's all that matters. It's you know, if so much success revolves around that. I mean, to a degree, it's obviously existed pre the internet. Just the idea of the man with more money is the more successful one. But you know, they rob us of. By the way, this guy won't be here for very long, so we have to do the riddle quickly. Here we go. I recognize you now. Good to see you again. You know, I'm starting to suspect you're only fighting me for my riddles. By the way, the conversation we're going into there has a lot more weight, okay? It goes a lot further. What I just said, that they should only be held accountable by higher authority, is not necessarily... I don't mean an individual with higher authority. Higher authority can be represented by a body of people, but it would be a collection of people with credentials, okay? Right, that's why, you know... So, an individual can be held accountable to a selection, to a committee, to a group of people, right? But, my point is that there should be something substantive to qualify that selection, and that they as a collection are the higher body. Randoms on the internet with absolutely or randoms in a community that just sign a petition, these are not a higher authority. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, I recognize you now, but I'm straying into so much stuff that I don't have the correct education to talk about. That I'm concerned about the whole conversation now. Anyway, I recognize you now. Good to see you again. You know, I'm starting to suspect you're only fighting me for my riddles. Well, I can't complain, and I've got a good one for you. Alright, I am only fighting you for your riddles. The riddles, that's a nice little thing for the devs to do that. I'm ready for it. Let's see. Every success brings you closer to my grasp. Every failure is a chance you will never see me. What am I? Success? No. Every success brings you closer to me. Every failure is a chance you'll never see me. Happiness? Peace? Old age? Heroism? The throne. The throne. My grasp. Does the throne grasp you? Do any of these grasp you? This is tricky because... and he's going to despawn. This is tricky because old age... Can I be old if I continuously fail in this universe? I think I'm probably... Because when you get cut down, I think I'm thinking too deeply. I doubt it's old age, because you can reach old age as a failure. Can you be a hero as a failure? Yeah, I think. Can you find peace as a failure? Yeah. Can you find the throne as a failure? No. There's clearly some kind of feel-good attitude I need with one of these. Some kind of dopey, ooh, that's so mushy. Heroism? Maybe heroes can be fallible. Maybe this is the... From a literary perspective, I think this is the most interesting. So I'm going to say heroism. No, good try. Old age. Old age indeed. Some rulers become arrogant after winning wars and gaining power. They forget that they cannot conquer everything. I'll have another riddle for you tomorrow. What? How does failure mean I won't make it to old age? I guess to what I said, that, you know, it's a brutal world. Failures is in dying and never getting to old age. Sorry, I tried to speak while drinking there. Yeah, alright, well, that was a class. I really thought that was me overthinking it. Alright, cool. So, yeah, we got him, and, he, where are we looking? I forget. My God. Where are we with the Desert Highlands? Here we go. Speaking riddles. I got to do 2 more here now. So, tomorrow and the day after, I guess. Good squad size, by the way, guys. Well done, NA. You did really well there. Brilliant. Okay, so, Sky Scale, I guess. I mean, that's a bit lame. Is there anything else I can do with the squad since you guys are here? Might be something interesting going on. Oh, I'll tell you what we can do. Guys, let's do this. The Desolation. Here. The Forged open realm portals at Moors within the Ruptured Heart to get reinforcement squads. The residue from the emerging units can be combined with portal spikes to damage the realm portals. Wait, but that's the event, right? Wiki ET. When's the Desolation event trigger? Janundu Rising is going on right now. And the Serpent's Ire. Do you guys want to try Janundu Rising? Let's go try Janundu Rising. It might already be done, but let's go have a look. Join me at this waypoint, at the Lair of the Forgotten in the Desolation. If you fail, you die. Has Guild Wars 2 taught you nothing? Consequences, damn it. Guild Wars 2 has not taught me that. To put it bluntly. So yeah, the Lair of the Forgotten, I guess I could ping it in squads. It could be at least that good. Could be at least that decent. It might not be done, by the way, so everybody who comes over, it might be finished already, sorry. It might not be up. Might not be done. I'm not very good at using words right now. Yeah, Jinn definitely don't look that graceful in this game, Cossage. I kind of like that, though. They look kind of a bit more... They look more wretched, and they look more rotten, and there's sort of an undead feel to them, almost, you know? Alright, this is not up, so let's do... I'm pretty sure it's not up. This is the field of battle here, and we would be in range of a thing. So instead, let's do let's do the infinite gin tonic, and then I will show you guys, and then we'll get on with the sky scale. Okay, so the infinite gin tonic. All right, to do that, we need to go to the Yetendi village. All right, we're gonna start off at the Kodana temple, and we have to just wait for it to roll, and we'll go through. Jules donated 30 minutes ago, said this is a test of seeing how well the donation works without overlays. There you go. It worked as well as me needing half an hour to see it. Okay, so here's the idea. There is an event. I can actually see a marker on my minimap right now, so I think it's ready to go. There's an event that spawns at the temple here, and it's a Jinn that will walk through here, and we have a boss fight at the end. And first of all, this will be a character that joins you at the Sun's Refuge, but second, you're gonna get an infinite. You're either gonna get a regular Sonic or an infinite one. Doing it with a Zerg of people will be really good. I'd love all of you possible to come here and do this. If you don't have it on your character, the map, don't forget that the Season 4 portal tome will take you here instantly. And so, here, I'll put dialogue on as well. I'm gonna stop talking a lot during this because she talks a shit ton during this. But what we'll do is finish this, and we'll see. Hopefully, with lots of people, one of you gets it, and that'll give me an idea of the drop rate. 100 years ago, the Jinn Vemian stole an artifact from me, and well, I stole one from him. We were supposed to return them to each other today. You think he's backed out of the plan? He should have had the courtesy to tell me himself. When I find him, I'll stick him in a bottle.
We have a deal then. You help me find this Jinn and my staff, and I bottle him for you. Imagine all the things you could do with a Jinn. Make him protect you, grant wishes, find treasure.
Alright. Actually, do you know what? I'm not going to put the dialogue on. We actually already did a stream listening to the dialogue and the story of this one. You guys can look at the chat bubble in the background, obviously, as it rolls around. I'll answer some questions instead. Cho said, it's good to see you. Interesting question came up yesterday on one of the streams. Why there is basically only one PvP game type in Guild Wars 2, while Guild Wars 1 had so many types? I'm not trying to be rude, but to me that's not actually an interesting question. That was a deliberate decision that the devs had been very clear and spoken about a lot before Guild Wars came out. Essentially, the problem they had was when they had so many formats of PvP, it made balance extremely unwieldy and difficult to work with. You know, you had a really structured base assault 8v8 format, and then you had Heroes Ascent, which was like a million formats. It was Capture the Flag and King of the Hill and Deathmatch and three-way Capture the Flag. It was all kinds of stuff, right? Then you had structured 4v4, random 4v4. You had the Jade Quarry, which had its own, you know, factors based on AoE nuking NPCs and stuff. You had these NPC mix formats. Fort Aspenwood was another format of base assault. The previous one I was alluding to was GVG. You had hero battles, which went away eventually, and they kind of tried to do a forced rotating balance in the Codex Arena afterwards, but Codex Arena is late enough that all this was sort of... Guild Wars 2 had already gone under development, and I think they'd already recognized their problems. They just had too much. And not to mention the fact that PvE balance was swinging all over the place based on all the same skills, even with the skill splitting of PvE and PvP. So, you know, what do? You now split PvP balance between each thing. So when they made Guild Wars 2, they wanted one game type that was supposed to be incredible. It was supposed to be the game type, like the ultimate esports thing that you know, that would be their big competitive scene. It would be one really important, good game type. And the one that they sat down and they worked together and they figured out and they fell in love with was Conquest. It was Conquest. Now, for their ambition and the importance of the game type, I don't think Conquest was good in the end. Now, I am an advocate for sticking with it at this point in Guild Wars. I am an advocate for continuing. I think it might be too late in the day with the resources they have and stuff to try and swap. And I think it's too late in the day to look at other things. But they tried to tunnel down into the one. Even if they had only done Conquest, they still would have ran into the problems. Because World versus World and PvE has so many things. So they had to skill split anyway. It was years before they skill split in Guild Wars 2. And the reason it was years before they skill split in Guild Wars 2, I think, they've never confirmed this, but it's because to skill split in Guild Wars 2 was basically an admission that their plan had not worked out, right? Because the whole idea was to have a unified balance across the whole game that wasn't unwieldy and it was very simple to deal with and so on. By having just by having minimal game types. But even in that, it didn't work. It was basically just the goalpost got shifted. Which is why one of the worst features to have ever been added to the game in some ways, one of the craziest development stories, is not necessarily the China branch, is not necessarily the new player experience that came associated with it, is not necessarily the extremes of the Living World Season 1 concepts and the extreme failures as well. It's none of that stuff. One of the worst development stories and examples of just mishandling in this game is the introduction of Stronghold. Stronghold is just so against everything that the sequel was setting up to be about. And I'm pretty sure, maybe I shouldn't make this comment because I'm not 100% sure, but they weren't skill splitting at the start of Heart of Thorns, were they? So they still hadn't sunk to that, but they were, like, I just don't know what that says to then do Stronghold. And then obviously on top, Stronghold doesn't get the love it needs to be able to go any further, you know. So it's not true that Guild Wars 1 has only one game type. It has multiples. They've just not focused on any of it. Like, it's the whole idea of Stronghold. It's just a mess. But, yeah, so that's kind of the story. And it's quite a well-told, well, not well-told. Regularly told one. That's the right word. I'm a walking and talking knowledge base. On some things. I would call myself, I know I've described myself as a generalist before when we talk about, like, you know, just broader YouTube trends and stuff. But even within Guild Wars, I would say I'm a generalist, you know. There are people you can get much better PvP insights from. There are people you can get much better Fractal insights from. There are people you can get much better World versus World insights from. But generally across the game and the history of the game, I think I've got a pretty wide base. I mean, I won't say the widest. Maybe there's some forum goers out there or whatever that know a lot more in general. You know, but yeah, it's just lore seems to be the one that people enjoy hearing me talk about most. I think that's because lore is so wholly ignored by other people. What Guild Wars 1 PvP game types would Guild Wars 2 really benefit from looking back at? Keeping its combat fluidity, visual noise, team combos, etc. in mind. There is only one answer to this, and it's not that I really believe in the answer. It has to be this way, but the community definitely believes it has to be this way because of the title of the franchise. And people cling to titles, and people build expectations out of titles. So, unfortunately, ArenaNet are kind of stuck with this. It's Guild versus Guild. The Guild Wars 2 PvP format had to be themed around GVG. It didn't have to be only guild members can do it, but the format had to be called GVG, and it had to basically be an extension of that. That would have not only satisfied the expectations of the title and stifled a whole lot of unnecessary criticism over the years, and it is unnecessary to criticize Guild Wars 2 for not having GVGs just because it's in the title. Like, I mean, what? Genuinely can find a 10-year-old that can have a more intelligent thing to say than that. But that's kind of the thing that goes on. So I think you know, if you can't beat them, you got to eventually. Here I'm making an argument for the other side of what we were talking about earlier. You got to do it. Enough people are saying it. You got to do it. No, I do believe it though. I believe word of mouth is important for the success of the game, and I believe perspective on whether the things that are happening or what you think should happen is important, and keeping your audience happy to an extent. So, yeah, I think it's GVG. And I don't think it's fundamentally unworkable. It's the designers that we really need conversations from with this. We need to hear what it is they didn't think worked about it anymore. Or what they didn't like. I can tell you one thing. I know for a fact one thing. Length. Game length. ArenaNet was very conscious in those earlier days of having more bite-sized PvP games that wouldn't last so long. So GVGs could last, you know, half an hour or whatever. They want it to be a bit more first-person shooter. They want it to be a bit more, you know, in the 10-minute range. And so Conquest was a solution for that. So the question would have been to them, how do you do a GVG that is only, you know, 10 minutes? Do you lose some of the spectacle that? Do you lose some of the intensity? Do you lose this? Do you lose that? They might have also been conscious of MOBAs, which were not the powerhouse they became, but were building up around then. They might have been conscious of MOBAs, and they might have been thinking, well, look, MOBAs is kind of base assault at the same rough time scale. Maybe we don't want to move ourselves into that space. Maybe we want to break the wheel and make a whole new thing, which is essentially, you know, what their outlook had been for a lot of it. So they went for Conquest instead. They were just very, everything about ArenaNet making Guild Wars 2, ambitious is the word I would use. So much ambition in so many areas of what they did. But I do think GVG would have been exciting. I still have a very strong memory of an old guildie of mine. I was sitting somewhere in Queensdale, on a hill in Queensdale, just chatting in a TeamSpeak server with a friend in Guild Wars 2, but I'd only met him in Guild Wars 2. And he was just reminiscing for hours and hours and hours. Well, maybe not that long. We were talking for maybe 2 hours or so. He was an old GVG player. He used to play it all the time. I never played much GVG in the first game, so I'm not even one of those old guard guys that loves it, you know, or whatever. I appreciate the format for what it is, and, you know, there were even sometimes casts and games of that over on the Guild Wars 1 section on Twitch. As you know, I'll always chill that place, and I often would host that place. I love the Guild Wars 1 section on Twitch. You know, often you find GVGs there, you know. So people loved it, and anyway, I was talking to this guy, and he was just reminiscing, so nostalgic and so happy and so excited about GVGs from the original game. And you can just tell there's that, like, slight sadness, you know, that it wasn't there in Guild Wars 2. My heart really lies with Heroes Ascent, by the way. But I don't think if we could go back to scratch, I don't think Heroes Ascent would have been a great call. Just because Heroes Ascent is that problem of multiple game types all on its own, you know. It is the ultimate expression of that. It's Heroes Ascent is, here's this game type, now here's this game type, now here's this game type, and this one, and this one, and this one. And can your PvP composition of players, are you skilled enough to beat your opposition in all these different game types with the same comp, with the same builds? There's a whole build locking philosophy there that Guild Wars 2's never really looked into much and never really played with much. There's just a lot of mismatched stuff there. And, you know, there are problems inherent to that format. One of the biggest issues that the Heroes Ascent used to have was, I call it the Spirit Wave phenomenon, but even that kind of outdates it a bit. Is a bit old, is a bit late in the day. Okay, here we go. So I got a gin tonic. Ping, if you get an infinite gin tonic, ping it in squad. Let's see it, guys. Any infinite ones? So we've got 24 people just did that. So no infinite ones. Damn. Well, it's a cool tonic. It turns you into each of the 4 gin. The infinite one's obviously better because it will, you know, you can cycle through them. But you can really look at their detail. Look, not elegant at all. Look at their eyes. They're so freaky. But I do like them. I think they're really cool. Right. Well, that's it, I'm afraid to say. Let's go do Skyscale. So the Skyscale of Growth. We go to the Strawberry Patch at Brightwater Inlet in Desert Highlands. I'm being lightning struck. The second I go on the map, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. It's the game. Okay. That is the... No, we're okay. It's got the effect on the screen still. Okay. I feel stressed out right now. On this map, I feel stressed out. I feel stressed out that I'm about to get attacked. Bright Water Inlet. That's down here. Strawberry Patch. Ah, the top of the waterfall with the Choya. Yeah, the Spirit Wave phenomenon. Does anyone know what I'm about to talk about? Essentially, it would always open with a deathmatch round. The game types and the map progression weren't necessarily randomized. It was always the same journey and and you skip maps based on the population. I love there was a very elegant matchmaking system that was going on with that. I thought that was very cool. Anyway, so you always started with deathmatch, and so what people would resolve to do was you had like the hard. It basically fractured the Heroes Ascent side of things. You had the kind of the pug casual community. And what they would do... Well, let me explain the other side of the coin first. You had the hardcore guys, the guilds, the really good players. And they would create really balanced compositions with excellent players in them that could do Capture the Flag, could do King of the Hill, could do everything. Anything that could be thrown at them. And they would go all the way, and they would hold halls, and they would get all their rewards from holding the Hall of Heroes, and they would do that. And they would compete big time. But those compositions were, because they were quite rounded out, they were inherently vulnerable to dedicated damage deathmatch compositions. So what you had was you had the hardcore players who were really good. They could sneak through and they could get to the later formats and then they could dominate there and they could do really well. You had to be really good players to make balanced comps work. Everyone else, people like me, people LFGing, people doing a bit more casually, we would... sort of be pigeonholed, if you were. The community instead chose to run DPS comps, let's put it that way, just team deathmatch comps. Comps that were just all about raw pressure in team fights to just win the initial deathmatch round. And what would happen is you'd beat deathmatch, and then you'd go to like the next wave or whatever, and you'd know you're against a composition more well-rounded out than you, and probably being run by better players than you, and you'd get blown up, kicked out. And that was fine. You would just go back and you'd try and grind your titles and get your rewards, just doing that over and over and over. And depending on the balance of the day, things would change. You know, you'd have Spirit Way sometimes. There were some, like, disease-oriented comps I remember running. But, you know, the really interesting ones, like the R-Spike comps and stuff, they were sort of pushing further away as far as I remember. But there were, like, these kind of just zergy, spammy build compositions. And it was kind of a sad thing because it created this fracture where... a lot of newbies, we just kind of learn how to do the one thing, you know, the deathmatch comps. Sorry, R-Spike. I'm saying the letter R from the alphabet, and then the word spike. Ranger Spike. The idea is you would, you'd have like a Necro that would proc a Hex on someone that meant that they took additional packets of damage whenever they got hit with physical pressure. It's called Barbs. And then you would have all of your rangers use a skill called Jewel Shot while they had certain preparations on, which meant that all the rangers would strike multiple arrows that like rattled in the target's face, and you had loads of rangers do it all at once on a countdown. You'd go 3, 2, 1. They'd all pressure this one target, and if your Necromancer had hexed them at the same time, you could just global one player. But it was a coordinated thing. Everyone had to spike at the right time, and it was reliant on the Hex going up first. So there was a telegraph on the Hex, so the enemy team's watching for whoever gets Hexed, and their monk tries to cleanse that Hex. So what you can do instead is you can Hex one target and R-Spike a different one. So the monk thinks the target's going on one player, but your team hits another, and you might be able to get a sneaky backdoor kill in that way. Or you might just, you know, try and bait cooldowns. It was really fun. And before any of you say, wow, that all sounds so good, Guild Wars 2 doesn't have that. Guild Wars 2 does have that. It just happens so fucking fast and on more of an individual arcadey basis that most of you will never see it while spectating. And you're probably not good enough at the game. But people absolutely bait cooldowns. I'm not even that good on Warrior, but I'm good enough to be in a reasonable Warrior 1v1 where I'll run forward, I'll execute my GS burst skill, and I'll cancel cast it to bait him into a full counter. and then he's just blown his adrenaline and done nothing. Or I'll run and I'll quickly about facing him and do that, and then cancel cast. It's the same thing. Playing Reaper, you can cancel cast your elites to bait dodges. All that stuff's still in the game. It's, if not better, it's really, really good. It's just too fast. It's just too fucking... too quick. And it doesn't display itself as clearly as the Guild Wars 1 stuff did. Path of Fire, combat music, strikes again. Alright, anyway, we got the Sky Scale of Growth next. Place your egg in the dirt at the artichoke patch at the Necropolis in the domain of Vabi. Yeah, the Revenant Glint Elite isn't... Just through the way that you rotate through your legends, you don't often cancel cast that one. But yeah, that's another good one, because that's a really big animation. One of the most fun plays I made recently... it's the kind of thing I would talk about in Game of the Day. In the Necropolis. An artichoke patch there. Thank you. Oh. I knew that was going to happen. If I hadn't watched that, I would have... I guess we're running cleanse on weapon swap there. Yeah, I had a fun moment. I've been playing a bit of SD Thief recently. And I'd like pressured a guy, and then he'd pressured me back, right? So I had to kite away for a second. Like I sword 2 ported back, right? So then he turns around to walk back towards the node to recap it after I'd decapped him. I appreciate me having to describe all of this, might make it hard to follow, right? So we've fought a little bit as a hollow for what it's worth. He's got me with his Forge 5, so I sword 2 out before I ate too much extra burst, right after I stand back up. And so he runs back towards the node because he knows I could just disengage now. But instead, he's running. He's facing away from me. He's walking towards the node. Now, I know this Hollow's a reasonable player. So I'm running towards him, and presumably, he would just be walking to the node right now. But I know he's a decent player, and I know he's probably on his look behind hotkey. So, knowing that he's probably on his look behind hotkey, I just blow a random sword 3, right? Which makes you do like a little dart to the side and move forward again. And I do that. I waste the initiative. I'm not going to steal in or anything. I do that specifically knowing he's watching behind in case I steal or something. And that he'll dodge if he sees anything, right? So, knowing that he's doing that via about face, he's not because he's doing it by about face, his expectation that I will bait a dodge is lower than it would be for another player, right? Because he thinks he's got one up on me because he's looking behind, and he doesn't know that I know that he's looking behind, right? So I do the sword 3, and he thinks I'm pretty much guaranteed to sword in there because he doesn't think I know that he's looking behind. So I know all of this, and I know that I'm almost 100% gonna get a dodge out of him if I bait a cooldown like that. So I make him dodge, and then I port in afterwards, right? And that kind of, there's just like a lot of fun little mind game. That was a tiny play. I didn't even win the 1v1. I had to rotate off afterwards anyway. I hadn't pressured him low enough. I'm not there to 1v1 in the first place. So there's a lot of stupid stuff that I was doing anyway. But just a tiny little moment like that. If you're watching that on a cast, or if you're just casually PvPing, or you're trying to get into the scene, you're going to have no idea the whole little story that happened there with the thief that randomly, you know, sword 3'd, alright? And I'm not saying it's a monumental instrumental play. I'm just saying there's actually a lot of little mind games that go into very small beats like that. And it's really fun. It's a really, really, really fun game. And there's nothing you can say in Guild Wars 1 that's better than little things like that. So yeah, but people just don't know it. It's literally, it really is a case where people just don't understand the format because of, it's so layered. There's just so much going on with it. So anyway, hopefully I explained that properly to you guys. And again, I'm not a great player. I don't even have any good builds I'm on right now. I've been multi-classing too much. Guild Wars 1. That's the essence of Twitch chat there. Someone listens to the whole conversation and then just types, Guild Wars 1 was better. There's no explanation. It was just better. Is it this chest specifically? Yeah, Shield 4 Chrono. Shield 4 Chrono is a good example of that as well. And that's a better one in some ways for casual players because it's slower. Shield 4 Chrono lasts for ages and there's 2 full casts of it, right? Another good one in Spellbreaker 1v1s is, maybe I can equip the weapons here for you. Another good little one, and you can win a lot of 1v1s with this, right? You'll be on Dagger Shield, right? Like this. Now, the Dagger Burst is unblockable, alright? and it's a tether. It's a brilliant. It's a boon rip. It's very good, right? So in any high level warrior 1v1, when you go shield block, you can expect that he's gonna breaching strike. That you can force him to weapon swap breaching strike. So you can shield block and deliberately cancel cast your own shield block and throw out a disrupting stab in the middle of your own shield block to interrupt his breaching strike and blow his adrenaline, right? That's only and that's mind games. That's only going to work if you respect the 1v1 potential of your opponent. But that's another little thing you do all the time in Warrior 1v1s. Warrior 1v1s are really, really fun in a lot of ways. People call it a brain dead class because it's just got so much damage loaded on Rampage and it scales up to way too high at team fights and stuff. But the 1v1s are actually really fun. There's a lot of little things like that, right? For baiting the full counters and getting the breaching strikes and stuff out. So, yeah, and it's a game of cooldowns as well. It's because a lot of I don't know, if you're running defense, if you put balance stance on, it changes a bit. But if you're running like the frenzy variant, it really is just juggling your stun breaks and trying to make sure you never get balls rushed or shield bashed. And how much poke pressure can you do in melee while like kiting away because you don't want to get breach and struck. It's fun. It's a really fun play style, at least to me anyway. Next, place your egg in the dirt of the cauliflower patch at the Ellen Flow in the Ellen Riverlands. Okay. Whoever you are. Tommy Tootle, you're amazing, man. That's Inks, isn't it? You're doing brilliant. You're basically my own personal little wiki here. Yeah, a lot of people cried about the nerf of full counter, but the damage on it, but I think it's fine. I think it's actually preferable. Again, because the full counter is a little bit like Hollow Photon Forge 5 to me. I think they're just slightly overtuned in their AoE potential. So the nerf on full counter is fine to me. I'd like to see the radius go down on the Hollow Photon Forge 5 as well, just a bit. It's just how they scale up. I think it's a little bit too much. Yeah, it is Inks. There you go. Thank you very much, listen more, and it's good to see you at the stream. It's pretty interesting how these magics are categorized and wonders if they fit into the schools of magic. Yeah, these for the achievement. I said that when I first got that on stream. It's really cool, isn't it? It's like they're the elements. It made me think of the game Magicka. Every time I hear full counter, I think of Log Horizon. I don't know what Log Horizon is, but just to be clear, they do a lot of references to other stuff in their skill and trait names, like a ton. And Warrior is no stranger to it, especially the Berserker profession had like a billion references to fighting games and stuff, so you might find it's a deliberate reference. What? No, I'm going to start a petition to not nerf Photon 5. You can have it as a ludicrous blowout if you like. You can have all that shit. Just drain the radius just a little bit. The way that thing works with the Z-axis is mental. It's mental. So just pull the radius back a little bit, alright? That's all I'm asking, okay? Do you think they will do something like the Forsaken Thicket story leading into Season 3 for the new Raid Wing to tease about Season 5? Maybe. I mean, you say the Forsaken Thicket story. I was thinking more Requiem. And finally, we need to go to the Carrot Patch at the Bone Strand in the Desolation. This one's nice. Nice little tour of some Path of Fire areas that I really should know more about. So the Bone Strand in the Desolation, eh? That's up here. Have I ever played Magic the Gathering? No. Never played that. I'm a bit of an asshole when it comes to Magic the Gathering. I'm gonna upset some of you guys here. I was one of those guys at school that was a bit judgy of the kids that played Magic. Like, when I was at school, it was a real sort of, it was an upper tier of, you know, I've always played video games, and I've always played MMOs, and I've always talked about geeky stuff, and I've always, you know. But I was also, you know, the idea of playing Magic the Gathering, sitting down in a hallway, you know, I was a bit judgy of that, and I regret that. But hey, I was a teenager. I was never openly judgmental to anyone, but internally, I thought, oh god, it's a bit losery. That's what I used to think. And so I've still never played Magic the Gathering to this day, which is a bit sad. When I was a bit younger, though, I did used to play a lot of a lot of Beyblades. So, you know, I'm no stranger to being one of the dorky kids doing stuff like that. All right. But my defense on that was I was a bit younger. Yeah, Guild Wars 1 deck building is very MTG. Yeah, I'm aware of the card game sort of parallels. Just wandering around blindly here. We want to go over to Inks and Bacon's All Mine. That's what we want to do. Yeah, if you want to know what this is, or if you want to know what this is, or if you want to know what this is, go to my YouTube channel and just, or just go to YouTube, type Wooden Potatoes Mount Wheel. 3 words. That's what you got to do. Thanks very much for the sub, Dresden. Oh my god, we had a tip from Anonymous 4 minutes ago. Are you serious? Oh, does Anonymous know that the things aren't there? Thank you for keeping up the high quality content standard in the Guild Wars 2 directory. As always, WP. Do you think a new expansion needs a new mechanical system to be viewed as worth it at this stage? If so, what could Cantha do? That's a $20 donation there from Anonymous. Thank you so much, man. And you've asked a question. That's fantastic. So, yes, I do think that they need to add new mechanics. I do. I think they need bullet points on a press page to get people excited. I think they need talking points for word of mouth. I think they need to continue giving the sense that new and exciting things are happening with the game. It's not just more of the same. I think they absolutely need new mechanics. And I think they have lots of things they could do. I don't know whether you'd consider it a new mechanic, but my #1 go-to for this kind of thing is a new race. I kind of consider it a new mechanic, as much as it could be a bullet point on the list. I think adding the Tengu, and I think that's definitely a thing. But as far as a new mechanic goes, you know, a new mastery or whatever, a new means of playing the game, fishing is probably at the very top of the list for me. I think that fishing is a really good choice, especially if it can interact with the entire game, not just the new expansion. A lot of people are going into, like, boats. You know, they think we've got mounts, maybe we need boats now, and maybe for some kind of open ocean expansion, we could definitely have a boat or some kind of thing. But yeah, I think fishing is a very big core MMO feature that Guild Wars could do, and they could do the ArenaNet twist on it, whatever that may be. I could definitely imagine that. What do you think of a Guild Wars 1 style expansion? Are you talking about campaigns? Well, much like the PvP game modes discussion I had earlier, one of the reasons they went to Guild Wars 2 also was to not have to do campaigns anymore. So if they did a campaign, it would be a bit kind of going back on their footsteps. So I don't expect that. Having said all of that, the new race idea I just proposed is pretty much a campaign. Sort of. Not fully, but it's kind of, you know, it's that same feeling of, oh, we're rebuilding tutorials and early level zones and stuff. But they shouldn't fear rebuilding early level zones. They really shouldn't. Keep thinking about this stupid side-scrolling MMO I've got in my head. And I keep thinking about how good campaigns would be with it. For God's sake. Anyway, speak with Sister Lysa at the Necropolis in the Domain of Abbey. Oh, we're doing a bit more zigzagging. That's a shame. The Jacaranda, man. These things, they got so much range. Oh, that was the worst Wastrel's Ruin I've ever seen. By the way, I had a cool idea, right? You could definitely sneak gyro a, like, Zerk Spellbreaker around and one-shot people with Wastrel's Ruin. Just by the way. Because if you're stealth, they're not using a skill, so you get double damage. That's a 3,000 damage tooltip. This is not nerfed in PvP. This is like a malicious backstab. It's fucking nuts. And it's on half of a second animation. So you can just cue that into something else. It's hilarious. Alright, next. And by hilarious, I mean broken. Right, yeah, this is an Necropolis. I hope the death places take us all somewhere good. We already moused over all of these, so we know where we're going in theory. Stop thinking of Sneak Gyro gimmicky one-shot builds. It's amazing! What are you talking about? It's so good. So good. The Scrapper can give you the might from the Blast Gyro. Oh, the gimmicks. And besides, this is a Spellbreaker build, alright? It's Spellbreaker. Oh no, I don't have shield. You're still Spellbreaker? You still got max vitality, max armor value, full counter. Greatsword 3. You still got so much hard mitigation. Sunbreaks out of your ass. No reliance on utility skills to pull it off. You know, at least a Deadeye has to blow utilities and stuff to get stealth access. You just stealth the warrior. He pushes far. He nukes the guy instantly. You claim the node instantly. He rotates into the opening team fight. 500-0. Easy peasy. Easy. Look at that. Too good. I don't seem to have any... wait, we're speaking to someone, right? My brain is not working today. This is honestly really trash. I'm not focusing on the content at all. Maybe it's the heart vendor? Maybe I'll just go up to the guy on the cliff up there. But I'm pretty sure... Isn't that where we got the plants earlier? Let's just engage our brain. Alright, it's not hard. Sister Lysa. So, we can mouse over the heart to see if she's Sister Lysa. No, we can't. It doesn't say. We can go have a look. From what I remember, you weren't a fan of the player housing idea, but do you think it would still be a viable idea for them to add? Don't really care about it myself, but I remember when a lot of people were talking about it. Yeah, you've got a good point. That's definitely... Okay, this is Embalmer Boren, so it's not him. That's definitely a possibility. I'm still not very keen on it. I'm keen on them taking what's established in the guild system and improving that, making it more accessible for players. Looking at things like global and local cap if they can be improved any further. But yeah, maybe decorating your own home is a cool idea. Maybe a Sun's Refuge style thing, but that they go further with. Could end up being a thing. She's one of the family members at the hero point. Alright. But yeah, as lukewarm as I personally am to it, I will openly admit that player housing is a viable thing to pursue for the next expansion. Alright, let's go up to the hero challenge then. You'd love to see a Prince of Egypt parting of the Red Sea effect with Guild Wars 2 Dynamic Water. Do they have Guild Wars 2 Dynamic Water? So you're asking them to sort of build that as a whole thing? What do I think of the Sun's Refuge? You know, I'm actually not going to comment on that because I've barely interacted with it. I can't really give you a real opinion on the Sun's Refuge when I've hardly played it, can I? It's not really fair. It looks cool though. Obviously the fact it was only one release is a bit upsetting, but it's not just one release anymore because we go back to it for the Sky Scale. So, you know, how that affects everything, I'm not entirely sure. We're over here. Yes, my mount menu needs an update. I don't have the Sky Scale because I don't have the Sky Scale. I'm getting the Sky Scale right now. I'll update it when the Sky Scale gets added. But yeah, I will do it then. Sister Lisa is there. I'll do the challenge as well. Why not? I guess. Oh, we're on shield. Shit. I was going to do the other thing. Hello, I'm kind of busy cheering on my great-great-great-great-grandfather. I need a source of death magic to absorb into this egg. Great-great-great-great-grandfather says that death magic pools in places where people were entombed. I would visit graveyards and such. Oh, we never actually opened this one. Okay, thanks. Oh, we never even opened it. Of course we didn't. My bad. Alright, visit the dead at Exile's Rest in the Ellen Riverlands. I'm going to move away from this because there's a chance it will just trigger again. Oh, wait. You have to kill all the family members. I thought that was a bit easy. Whatever. Natalie, you're not going to get that. Exile's Rest in the Ellen Riverlands. So, Exile's Rest is this place, isn't it? Oh, wait. No, or there's a graveyard. There's a graveyard we come to, like, over here as well, isn't there? But I don't see the phrase Exile's Rest. There's a lot of dead here, so let's just try that. No, that's called the Dead House, isn't it? Madmind says, so happy you're streaming, making cleaning the kitchen more fun. Hey, I'm glad. I'm glad, Madminds. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice little way to start the morning. I hope people will look back on this and be like, yeah, those are some cool mornings. I'm like your Blue Peter, guys. That's all I want to be. Is that reasonable? Okay, it is the graveyard for the exile. Okay, so I will go north. I'll try and wander my way there. I don't really remember. So just like on Blue Peter, I need you guys to send me pictures and things, right? Today, your challenge for this stream is to draw a picture of a potato. The best potato We'll get it featured on the show. Ooh. Now let's go have a look at Muttons, our happy dog companion. Oh, obviously we get the icons on the map, so I don't even know what I'm, you know, bitching about. Oh, really? Come on, I just wanted to swap to the Jackal to elegantly go through that portal and enjoy the dynamic new mount gameplay. Look at this wanker. Look at this! This one's attacking now. No, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Got the dodge roll. He's coming back. He's coming back! I'm out. I'm out. It's good. We need a big cleavage potato for the ultimate clickbait thumbnail. A cleavage potato would be kind of cool, actually. Yeah, good job. I'm such a fantastic kiter, right? Did you see the use of the terrain there, guys? Kiting in an open field. Epic. Some top tier stuff right there. You learned a fun little British saying, see you next Tuesday. I recognize that, but I'm not sure. Oh, no, I do know what that is. That's a very rude word. That's a very rude word, Inks. That's a very rude word. You shouldn't say that. Wouldn't it be useful if there were keybinds for mounts? Wouldn't it be useful to have to only assign one keybind for mounts so that when I'm in more interesting game modes, my keyboard is free for better buttons? Ooh. What does it mean? Think about the sound of the first letter of each word and put them together. Oh, that isn't even where I was meant to go. Alright, fine. I guess the Skyscale Spirit. We made a bit of progress on this. We've been doing this accidentally during the other ones. Okay, so, of course, it didn't even register in my dim-witted monkey brain that I wasn't anywhere near the graveyard anymore. And that's how we say hello in Aussie land. How's the fashion going, by the way, Commie? You haven't got the Skyscale yet? No, I've been getting pretty much all the progression on streams with you guys. Which, is giving a good sense of how much gameplay I'm getting out of it, you know? Like, the thing is, I don't rush when I'm playing the game, so I'm sort of enjoying myself to a degree. I'm sort of just, I do have an icon here. It seems to be right at the fire. Or it needs to be... Oh, here we go. Welcome to Augury Shadow. This isn't right. It's not... Maybe it's on top of this? Is there a cave under this? Do I forget? Is there a cave that you get like a mystic coin? Not a mystic coin, but, you know, like a special coin or something. This one's for triggering the meta. Oh, you have to do the meta, do you, for this one? Ah, interesting. Okay. Alright, that's fine. So I don't actually have an icon for the Skyscale we're trying to get, though. The egg we're trying to get. The dead at Exile's Rest. I'm going to assume that these guys... Oh, no, I do. I definitely do. There's an icon, and one of you guys is standing on it. Here. There it is. I went north when I should have gone... I went northeast instead of just southeast, or southeast-east. Let's put it that way. Want to try something fun? Mount up on a Jackal. Press the spacebar to blink forward. Now, in the middle of the blink, use your third utility skill on the Jackal, the one that launches off the mount, equals have fun. Alright, let's try this out. Was that it? Did I do it right? That felt like a bit of a boosted... I appreciate that's a really annoying reaction, if that was in your opinion really cool. It felt like just the combination of the two, didn't it? It was pretty cool though. I've never thought of comboing those together in that way. That's true. It's inconsistent, is it? It did feel like a pretty big launch. That's pretty nice. Can you use that to get onto the Griffin afterwards and then, you know, maybe make some extra height or something? Don't try it, it creates ketchup gas. Visit the dead at the Bone Palace. Never got the dodge on that. in the Desolation. Bone Palace, man. Yeah, what do you guys think about the fact? All right, here you go, chat. I want to know this. What do you think about the fact that the Bone Palace is really not a place we ever went back to throughout this season? Do you think Season 5 will finally have us flirting back towards these maps? There's a time frame where you travel like twice as fast. Wow, really? Now, this is open world Bone Palace, so it should just be a lot of things trying to kill us. Well, yeah, I mean, Joko is gone, you're right. But, I mean, who's going to replace him, I guess, is the most interesting question we can ask about this location. I tethered that guy, so he's going to stay with us. Considering how bland it is. Do you think this is bland? I think this is a brilliant location. I don't think it's bland at all. It's way more interesting than the Guild Wars 1 Bone Palace in terms of pure environment. You probably just have the impression of it being bland because they've not used it for anything particularly exciting. The Canid Throne Guard. The Bone Palace expels the living for another 30 seconds. How do we kill the Bone Guard then? There's an arrow showing entry from this direction. See, I mean, I say that, and I don't even know what this event is. And this looks like a huge part of the Bone Palace. I genuinely don't know what this event is. But, like, look at these upper areas. These are all new. This is all interesting. Isn't it? See what happens once the event ends. The Bone Palace expels the living. It's just a box. I mean, yeah, it's pretty square, but that can be an aesthetic. It's not even that square, really. It's got some diagonals. The back wall is immersed in this tar. I wasn't expecting a real palace. This expansion's been full of real palaces, so to speak. I was expecting a version of it like what we got in Guild Wars 1. And, you know, this basically expands on that and gives us more places. These upper areas, I think, appeared in one cutscene in Nightfall, where Maloney and Koss, like, proposed to one another. Just one. I think it was a proposal, or it was just a declaration of love. So, I'm actually a little bit lost now. I'm not sure what the situation is to get in there. Obviously some kind of event I have to do. Oh, yeah, okay. I see what you mean, Coy. But where might that event trigger from? Now, the arrow came from over here, but I don't remember any events triggering from here. No one in chat helping out either on this one. Maybe we come back to this later when that event's not going, because this is the first time I've ever seen the Bone Palace in this state. So it's not a common thing. It's definitely something we can just sort of come to later. Shadows provisions. Are these just random things that drop, or is this actually a an achievement related thing? You just have to get to his throne. No, I know, but I get teleported away if I go in there. It happens when the event fails. It's alright, we'll just skip it and we'll come back to it later. It's alright, guys. We can't go in because it teleports us away. Visit the dead at the Tomb of the Primeval Kings in the Desert Highlands. I mean, look, this one's simple. So we'll do this one and then maybe we'll have a look again later. The best of the tombs in the franchise, by the way. Name me a tomb better than this one. Name me one. There's not one. Visually, anyway. The concentration of magic is located by the throne. While this event is active, the staircases on the sides of the palace have to be used. If the green wall expels your character, you will need to wait for the wall to fall in order to continue. There you go. Look, wiki. Kossage has delivered us the wiki information, and it's basically exactly what we expected. The Tomb of Inks coming in Season 5. What would the Tomb of Inks look like? Inks? I'm curious to hear. This whisper here is visible on stream, by the way. So I'm just going to read it out. Shh, this is a quit whisper, but do you know if Dargo is alright? He is kind of ghosting us. There you go. You're on stream. Is he ghosting you? He was in chat earlier. He seemed fine, didn't he? We put a compilation video up. He was alright. I don't know. And why would I know? I'm just streaming here. I only see what I see in chat. So that's your very quit whisper, and there's your response. Alright, okay, wait, we're in the tomb, though. Oh, all the way deep. Oh, they picked a good spot. Well, this is such an intricate place, though. I kind of would have liked to have been on one of those pillars or something again. That was fun to get up to before. Still, at the bottom of the tomb, that's pretty good. A grand palace with statues of you all over the place. Nice. It should look at least as big and vast as this, though, dude. Alright, the Sky Scale of Death. This one is a Champion's Dawn in the domain of Istan. That's the bottom left of Istan. This character... Oh, this character has been to Istan. I'm not sure why or when I ever came to Istan on this character, but fine. Where is Rurik buried? Great question. I don't remember a grave for him. Obviously, he died in the Shiver Peaks, like half buried in an avalanche, and an axe got buried in his skull. At least I think it was an axe. And then he was resurrected and taken to the Fire Island chain. And then his body went missing there. The Flame Legion got Sahothin off of him, ultimately. But what happened to the body, I don't know. You obviously don't need a body for him to have a tomb. He can have like a ceremonial tomb. But I don't remember one at the Ascalon settlement. I don't remember one at Ebonhawk. I certainly don't remember one in any of the other Char claimed areas. You know, like in the 250 years, humans put it there and then the Char took it or whatever and vandalized it. So, I don't know. And I don't remember him in the catacombs, the Ascalon catacombs either. I don't remember the memorial there. Those are the only places I could think of as soon as you asked me the question. And in delivering my answer there, I haven't thought of any new ones. So, I don't know. You watched that cutscene with so much anticipation. I'm going to die, so I'm just going to grab this. We're going to rampage grab it. Come on, feel the rampage. It's because we're slowed. Come on. You can do it. You can do it, Annie. She got it. She got it. She got it. It's all gravy. Damn, they did not want me getting that. This graveyard is infested. My God. We may have to work on an open world build for Warrior, a proper one. I wonder what I'd do. I'm pretty sure it is Spellbreaker, though. Oh, by the way, Commie... I just want to say, I really like the way that my Spellbreaker looks. So, I don't think that you have to do a Spellbreaker outfit. Unless you really want to. But, I mean, look at this. Look at how cool this is. This just screams Spellbreaker, doesn't it? Look at it. Got the gold fractal dagger for a bit of a... Oh, no, that's not the gold fractal dagger. Let me put the gold one on. That's the shifting sand one. Where's my gold one? Did I skin it? I guess I skinned it. Let me, Weird. I don't remember doing that. Look at this. Look at how good that is. Look at that golden trail. Spellbreaker. It's too good. It's a beautiful set. It's all color themed correctly. So I don't think I need to do anything on that. Yeah, anyway, alright, so... We got that. Now we just got to go back to the Bone Palace, right? That's what I think we're looking at. Bone Palace, Desolation. Why do players all look generic in my game? It's because I have my culling settings set up so that they don't drop my frame rate too much. Now, I do that while streaming because, depending on what I ask of you guys... we might end up having, you know, like 20, 30, 40, 50 people just doing something with us. And it gets really laggy, and I think that looks a bit gross. So, here, look, I'll hide chat for you. But I'm not going to receive any whispers in-game. Because chat is in. For me and you. So, yeah, basically, I just do that to keep the frame rate. I could just have the brains to remember to change it every time, but I don't, so whatever. Green wall is still up at the palace. Yeah, I can see. Yeah. All right, let's just ignore this egg for now then. I love the sound effect on that. It's so loud and oppressive. Let's finish this one. Prophets fall in the desert's highlands, so we'll just go to Glint's grave. Look at all this money they're getting out of me on these waypoints. Yeah, you gain... Nocta is not exaggerating there. You can gain 20. You can gain up to 30 FPS. If you are struggling, Reflection, Shadows, Culling, all three of those, just drop them. You can gain up to like 30 FPS easily. Easily. Maybe more in some places. Yeah, I'm happy to admit that I'm a bit slow in the mornings. Thanks for the compliment on my fashion. All I've done here is do you know what this fashion is? This is, I've picked the luminous armor. I had all luminous armor, all luminous weapons, and I dyed it gold. That was all I did. And you just think it's good fashion because the luminous set is a rare set that people don't often run. But it's still just an ArenaNet set. After I had that, I slowly just started changing a couple of the skins. Like I put the gold I'm not using luminous weapons anymore. I like realized that the crystal gold shield looks good and that the fractal dagger looks good. But largely, and then I realized this backpack looks good. But it's still just luminous stuff. That's all it is. On pretty much default dyes, but maybe slightly improved. See, luminous, luminous, luminous. And then these two. My other one is normally, the greatsword I run is the Conjured Amalgamate greatsword. When I'm doing this in PvP, I have a GS and I use the Conjured Amalgamate because that's kind of gold and it has like little sparkles and stuff. Alright, cool. So that Sky Scale's done. Fear. We're going to teach the class at the academy. That's hilarious. I really do want to do that. Yeah, the Fear one looks pretty good. I want to finish this today as well. This stream's going to go on a little bit longer just because I definitely do want to finish this. So we are going to get through this time gate. We're going to get back to Gorick. Also, watching very closely for crashes. We're in the crash time zone now. And I know that because we're on clean overlays, it's obviously not going to do it. Well, I say obviously. I don't know. I think the theory is that it might, which is why we're trying this in the first place. But I don't think it will. I'm happy to be wrong. No, Aetherblade pants on female character equals terrible fashion wars. Really? Is that a thing? Let's see. Let's see how good these are. Once my character actually appears. There we go. Oh, okay. So you kind of like the very clean sort of... Yeah, but look at the cloth. Look at the cloth. Look. I'm new to playing Barbie, alright? I'll admit. And I know that I'm going to come across some sense of gatekeeping, and I'm not going to do very well. Because I never played with Barbie when I was a little boy. But now as an adult, now as a man, now that I'm playing with my Barbie dolls, I think that the cloth looks really nice. And I think it has a very pretty flow to it. And I think that while I'm running around, it looks very pretty also. I like playing Barbie. All I need is a Barbie house, which is why I think they should add player housing. That's right, guys. If you want player housing, you're just one of those Barbie players. That's what it's all about. You're doing it for the booty. Oh, it's just about the ass. Okay. I didn't even think to turn it around and look at the ass. All right, here we go. The professor barely acknowledges you as he continues with his lesson. Oh, let's listen to it. Let's listen to his lesson quickly. Tell me about the rise and fall of Zhaitan. I'm listening now. I've taken my earphones off. Look how tall we are. I like being a Norn. I feel fucking strong. Okay, well, he didn't do anything. Let's teach the class. Hello. This is Win Potatoes. I am going to teach you about the rise and fall of the Elder Dragon Zhaitan. Once upon a time, there was a man named Trahearne. And when he was born, he was given a sword called Calebolg. And with it, he cleansed the lands of Ur. After this, another person called Kaith came along, and she was tasked with destroying the dragon. She was going to, but then the glory of Tyria came, and the dragon was no more. Thank you. Where's my achievement? How do I do this? How do I... Genuinely, I'm not even joking anymore. How do I do this? Do I have to just inform them? Do I have to do the thing with the heart? Palawa didn't fight Zhaitan. What do you mean? He tamed him and now flies around on his back. You're silly. Oh, man. Look, just like the ogres said, do the event. Right, so I've just got to wait for the event. Event with a something minute spawn timer. Alright, okay, fine. We wait for the event. Next. Let's get attacked by the angry chickens. This one's good. This one's very good. So basically, we just beat up chickens until they get PO'd and spawn angry ones. There you go. And then they attack us and we get feared. Well, we don't actually get feared. You know, they should have done on the fear one, they should have had us be like go near like some Twilight Arbor night, obviously not in a dungeon, but you know the dungeon Twilight Arbor Nightmare Court guys that fear you forever. They should have had us go to a mechanic like that that's in the open world that fears you for ages. That would have been cool. I can't think of any right now, so maybe the truth is that they don't have much of that in the open world. And probably for a good reason. Get to the very top of the wall in the Blaze Ridge Steps. Okay, so this is where I think we see the Shatterer. And I think the devs are pretty much legends for realizing that they had such a cool opportunity here. Bone Palace event is back up if we want the egg. Okay, cool. I'll go there as soon as we got this. And then we'll go teach the class. And we should have it all. Tequatl? Yeah, get feared by Tequatl, I guess. But then it's the whole world boss thing. And people would whine, so you got to be careful about that one. Yeah, Claw of Jormag already had us getting feared. Maybe they should have just done Claw of Jormag for both. But it's the fear. I guess all the Elder Dragons, people you end up fearful of. This is so good, guys, because this is a mount area. This is probably the best one that they've done. Because this is like an exclusive new area for people with mounts. This is just so smart. This is so good. What a brilliant thing to have players go and do. I'm saying, yeah, look, it's all the way up there. Look how good this is. Obviously, I just messed that up. I cannot backpedal in midair, okay? So the problem is I have to be very precise with my jumps. Also, you know, it even ties into the whole, oh, I want a sky scale to be able to maneuver. Alright, I have to play really carefully. Because this thing doesn't turn on a dime. So without the S key, the spring is a bitch. And I was struggling with the springer earlier. Maybe I should bind backpedal, just a weird area of the keyboard specifically for when I'm on the rabbit. Okay, maybe we don't get on that. That's too slippery. Maybe we go... No, I think we do get on that. I do think we want to be on this. Okay, that should be good. Obviously, during the shot... Oh, he overshot it. Why did he overshoot it? I didn't press W that much. While we're turning, we can maneuver, but only while charging. And once you've committed to the charge, you're going to jump. So you've got to make sure you get it right. There, we didn't go far enough. And we've fallen again. I have to bind this button. Hold on. I have to bind this button. It's just going to be so much better if I do this. And we'll turn it off again once we're done with this. That's not a good setup though. I've got to find another way to do this. Because look, we would have overshot that if I didn't have the S key available to me there. And this one we would have overshot as well. No! And do you know what happened there? I tried to use Bond of Faith, which was my S key, which is now disabled. So I pressed the hotkey for it and then didn't go anywhere, didn't do anything. I went, that was a bad jump, but I was thinking, oh, I can save that with, and again, oh my god, this is a nightmare. Why did it have to be the one fucking button that was swapped? This is so bad. Hold on, let me just focus. Because you can use S to turn as well on the, like here, I can turn by tapping forwards and back while swinging the camera. And it allows you to turn without actually moving. And we can do it like this. Now the problem is we're going to dismount when we press the button and it will launch us forward. So we're going to back up a little bit. And we're going to grab the egg. I'll put the egg down here. Oh, baby. Fear indeed. That was fun, though. I really like it. That's still probably my favourite. Didn't get to see the Shatterer fly through, but I'm pretty sure he does fly through here. And I would stay... There you go. Yeah? Change my mind. That's not the best one? You better have a fucking good reason for why it's not. Visit the dead at the Bone Palace. So let's go grab that now. Yeah, I was going to leave really quickly, but it worked out anyway. He cycles quite fast. In my Let's Play, I have a vista of a guy climbing up there while the Shatterer flies through, and it's really cool. The best one is the Egg of Life in Divinity's Reach. Okay, fair enough. I haven't been there yet. I haven't done that one yet. That will be in a minute, so we'll see. Yeah, but Amaranda didn't talk about Malik. She didn't actually... It was just like a little nod, wasn't it? She didn't actually divulge anything deeper. So, on this map, it's still not up. But one of you, I'm guessing, is on a map where it is. So, as soon as I break combat, we'll kill this guy. It's better to kill him here than... Now I can't frenzy anymore. And we're dying. Well, look, you get feared by canids. Why not that? He's running away. He just kited my full counter. What is this? I got 1v1'd by the canid. Ah, goddamn settings. It's okay, because Signet of Agony is ludicrous. He's stealthed, but you can see our projectile's getting blocked, which means he's still standing there. Pro tip, you can use that as a warrior in PvP to know that your hammer toss will work, even when, like, someone's stealth stomping you. Just watch for if the animation disappears. This guy's brought an ally now. Of course, I don't have my axe offhand on it anymore either because of the shield demo I did. Here, we can attack and see that the auto attack is rolling. That also tells you that your attacks are landing for as long as that's going on. But it stopped there. And another tip to see if someone's dead in down state is their death icon will appear on the minimap, even if they're in stealth. So that's 3 methods there to tell if someone's stealth. Another thing you can do with stealth is if you play with game audio on, you can hear some skill sound effects executing. So you can tell if someone's near you in stealth from the sound effects. To be honest, on that last note, I'm a little bit hazy and I don't really use that technique much. I think there's some general tell. Maybe you can tell when there's a new... I don't know, maybe there's some Deadeye Telegraph that's got a good sound effect on it, you can tell. There's a really important utility skill from Deadeye as well, which knocks you down and does a mob and stuff. And apparently you can see that even if they cast it on you in stealth. I think you can see it around you. Maybe. I don't know. Some of these I'm a little bit more hazy on, but there's a lot to learn with that. A lot to talk about. Okay, it's not open. Is that because the event failed? What do you guys have to say in chat? Oblivious Potato is my favourite potato. What am I oblivious to? Yeah, at least Amaranda got added in the open world. I agree, that's good. Death's Judgment does a sound effect before the thief leaves stealth. Does it really? That's a cool one to know. There's definitely a video in that. For anyone that does PvP coverage, there's definitely a video in that. Just all the stealth interactions you can think of in terms of identifying a stealth target. The auto attacks, the minimap, the projectile obstructs. You might even package in there some about face tricks and line of sight information. Basically have it as like a guide, be like, okay, so you feel threatened and you know someone's stealthed somewhere. What do you do? What are the things to watch for? How can you help yourself? I guess we'll just keep going on, since someone said this was up, but I've not seen any extra information. When all the players suicide for you and you just left the other day. Oh, really? Yeah, I did miss that. I know someone was talking about it. Let's go and try and teach the class. But I didn't see anyone doing it. I never asked anyone to suicide, to be fair. Can't you get Scale of Life via GG in Fractals? Maybe. What? When you revive yourself, does that count as a revive? Is this the event? It's not this one, obviously, right? need to reskin these axes. They look a bit gross. I'm in combat again. For Christ's sake. Here it is. I was looking... No, that's not even it. Where's the axe? It's here. That's such a nondescript, like, icon for equipment to me. Oh, here you go. Oh, no, not here you go. One of your characters has this kill buff, but you've got the sky scale, so it just never goes away. That's interesting. No crash so far, Cho. I don't think it's going to crash while it's clean. I really don't. Remember the Revenant Weapons traveling vendor? Weren't you going to go look for him? Oh, that's a good point, Nock. When he's not on Tyria right now. I did, and actually off screen, I got 2 of the recipes. I did do 2 of the recipes. I was always planning on showing at least one of them on the stream. But I did get 2 recipes. It's a good point. That'll be something for tomorrow. But yeah, I learned how the system works. And I collected a couple. So, how long are we going to be waiting on this event? Is it going to just fire as soon as this one's up? I don't think it does. I don't remember anything firing as soon as this one's up. So, what we could do is Courage. Courage is the last one. And this one's cool. This is like telling it how we defeated all this stuff. This isn't... Oh, I have to defeat my doppelganger. And that's that whole meta, isn't it? Oh. Okay, let's see if that meta's rolling. Because that's on a timer now, isn't it? Yeah, it is. The path to ascension is up right now. Alright, I'm pretty much going to drop everything now to get this. Because as far as the timers are concerned as well, I would usually have stopped streaming by now. So, I'm just not really going to get... This is the best opportunity to do this. Doppelganger will be in 10 minutes. By the way, it's not... It doesn't have to be my doppelganger, does it? Right? The barrier's fallen. Augury Rock is open. So we get the magic in a second. It can be anyone's doppelganger. Okay, good. Anyone's doppelganger, I'm fine with. If it had to be mine and I had to get picked out of the Zerg, I'm sure I would have heard someone complaining about that or talking about that in the meantime. This map doesn't have anything else for us to do on the sky scale, does it? Well, hold on. It's in 10 minutes. Do you promise we've got 10 minutes? If we've got 10 minutes, I can get these others. Alright, Fort Trinity. We're going to roll through these nice and quick. Because they all seem to be in really simple locations. Fort Trinity is a non-combat area. The Pact base in the Silver Waste is non-combat. The Sky Gardens is not difficult to get to, even though, you know, it is kind of combat. So it's here. Oh, nice. It's where we put the blue orb in. Nice. I was expecting it to be in the instance, honestly, but okay. Tell your story to the egg. So, this is where I defeated Zhaitan. It was pretty cool. I'll tell you about the next one next. Look, I'm a great Norn storyteller. This is what we're doing. Can't resolve. All you need to do is tag the boss. The doppelganger can be ignored. Wait, isn't the doppelganger the boss? You're just saying I can tag him, right? Where do we tell this story? Camp resolve in the Silver Waste. Tell your egg how you defeated Morgemoth. I'm assuming it's up here, but... I'm wrong in that assumption, it seems. Oh, here you go. It's in the base. That's really hard to see, honestly. That was really hard to see. It looked like there was just a bit of the art, you know, a bit of light. Okay, so this is the location where Rox's mystery that was never really paid off on was established. There was a scene with Timey here as well. So this is where I got a bunch of airships and tried to kill Morgemoth, but he destroyed them all. Everyone died. But it's okay, because... Sylvari voodoo magic. Woo! Woo! We went into the dream, and he was dead, so there you go. Next, the Sky Garden. It's interesting what a leap forward in content there is there. Think about that, guys. The Silver Waste was added during Season 2. And this Sky Garden scene happened 2 expansions down the line after that, with their associated episodes and Living World seasons. It's so far down the line. In a weird way, it makes Season 3 feel kind of like filler, and it's obviously not, and I would never actually argue that it's filler. Oh yeah, wrong area, wrong waypoint. We want to go up to... I don't have that one unlocked, though. So we just got to go north. So it's actually not that bad that I'm doing this, because what we can do is get some height. I literally cannot Springer anymore. This is the problem. It's really scary to be on a Springer. We can get some height, and then I'm going to have to wait for Bond of Faith on this. We'll Bond of Faith out, and we will Griffin there. It should be pretty quick. Let me assign that like that. I'm assuming we can get onto this dome, of course. If I'm wrong about that, then... No, not enough space to mount. Ugh, whatever. We're just going to fly there. Let's just fly from here. Go a bit of speed. Go under this. Up again. Problem is when we land here, we're going to start getting struck, and then we're not going to be able to swap. I'd rather be on Skimmer right now, but get a little bit of height from this. That's the Sky Garden up there, so it's just climbing now. Again, this is, you know, this is one of those little moments, though, where it feels like the sky scale would be pretty cool. I feel like I'm kind of really close to the doppelganger, so I'm actually kind of stressed out doing this. I don't remember the walls being so high. No, you stupid rabbit. I was not touching W there. It was just sliding. All right, there you go. There's the ramp. You can't do that little movement in the story instance, can you? Are you unlucky, or is the sky scale engage incapable of critting? Ooh, I don't know. Maybe? Wait, what's this? Did I miss something stupid? Alright. My account name is... Someone wants to mail me. I don't know why. If that's for a guild invite. My account name is Baradin3164. Baradin. There's 2 R's in that. 3164. Baradin3164. If you need the spelling of Baradin, you can look it on the wiki. Come on. Don't you get me killed, Raptor. Alright, good. Why did that trigger? I pressed skill 1, didn't I? Alright, whatever. Okay, we'll get this straight back to the Ellen Riverlands. Yeah, or you could just type 3 letters Liss. I kind of like hearing that it's really strong, Nocta. I'm quite happy to hear that, actually. Alright. So, Unbound Magic. Honestly, the Skyscale is just super strong at generic movement on the maps. It feels like insane power creep compared to other mounts somehow. The barrier's open. Augury Rock is open. Okay. Oh, look. Now that the meta is pushed, where it's telegraphing me to go to is to go to the entrance of Augury. There are mini doppelgangers that spawn on the Joso Escher fight as well. Do those count for it? Or is it just the big doppelganger with the Unbound Magic collection thing in a minute? No, it's not insane compared to other mounts. Feels a lot like a World of Warcraft mount. Come on, man. I guess we wait. I've already done all the Flameseeker verses. Never did that video about what they say in the end. The teaching event just started. Ah, did it now? Okay. Oh, but that's on a different map, so I don't want to do that. So I'm kind of concerned to click this mail. You can use these ones to auto-complete items in the next Sky Scale collection. I've crafted too much of these, so maybe it'll be useful to you or not. 5 extra pungent Sky Scale treats. This summon your Sky Scale. This will complete the nearest lost collection on the map. If no such can be found, this item will not be consumed. Oh, that's really sweet of you. Thank you. I don't know how difficult this is. I don't know what kind of gate we're dealing with. I don't know anything really. But what I will do is I will grab these. Thank you. And I'll have a look at though. I'll just try not to invalidate my experience of it or whatever with using them until later. But that's really nice of you. Thank you. And someone in chat tomorrow when we're doing that, can you remind me that Natalie is the character that has those? Okay, I'm just way too early. Maybe I should do the event. I'll do the Vabi event. I'm so scared of sandwich. I feel sandwiched between these timers. Those are handy for world bosses, which are also on timers. Okay, good. Oh, it lets you skip jumping puzzles. Alright. Avoid detection and help cadets paint the Great Monument. That's not what we want. Cadet re-education. The instructor will arrive in 5 minutes. Ooh, what do you think, guys? 5 minutes? They have to collect all the magic and kill the doppelganger, but can they do that in 5 minutes? I'm going to go for gold here. I think my higher odds are to do this one first. Regarding Joko's battle with Chiriosa, Joko was defeated and imprisoned.
Not technically by Shirai, but by the newly formed Order of Whispers.
But yes, that's correct. Make sure to go to the podium, yep. Oh, sorry, is that a timeout on the event, maybe? Maybe it's not the event ends in 4 minutes. Maybe it's you've got to fill the bar by the time 4 minutes is done. So here's the timer. It's this sphere. It's resetting now. It's a nice little effect. And once that fills up, we can do it again. Again, thanks very much for that lovely little thing there in the mail. That's really nice of you. Regarding Joko and the Sun Spears. The Sun Spears are a myth. They were corrupt and had to go. They were a threat to him, so he hunted them down. I mean, both are true. The top one and the bottom one. The bottom one I never read out loud, but it was essentially that they're gone. And they are gone. But, well, no, actually, it's not true. No, the bottom one is not true. They're not gone. Never mind. Bonus, continuing education. I want better AoE. Do you know what this really just means? Thing is, I want to play Berserker, but I don't want to play... I don't want to be hamstrung to the Signet of Fury. I feel like the next Elite Spec should be, like, much more AoE oriented. Like, point blank, like, radial AoE. I don't know, maybe Berserker is the better choice. But you lose so much quality of life being locked into this. For open world, it's just not that good. I don't think, anyway. We're in combat, so we can't reassign those traits. Wild magic is now up, but I should have time to finish educating. Good, good, good. I mean, break enchantments isn't even that good, but I'm continuing to use it for some reason. Yeah, it's not just the 3 bars of adrenaline before bursting, though. Even that, you could build stuff. It's the, like, if you run axes and the axe trait, you get so much adrenaline so fast, it'll make your head spin. It's fine. And axes are really good. I like axe. The problem is the cooldown on re-entering Berserk. So, like, in open world, you're very, like, on-off. Like, you'll kill an enemy or a veteran or something. So you're going to berserk, you're going to use your greatsword stuff, you're going to have fun. Then it's dead and you've broken combat and you're still in berserk. Then berserk ends and now you're engaging the next thing, but you've got 15 seconds before you can re-berserk. It's just, it doesn't work very well. There's a pacing problem, a flow problem with it. Obviously, it's really good in scenarios where you're against one big meaty thing and you can just keep smashing it and get full value out of every berserk you go for. And berserk lengthening traits and stuff might even be useful. But for open world, it's just a bit... That's why I think Spellbreaker's better, because full counter is quality of life. And you have more than enough damage to burst your way through individual targets. I guess, yeah, I just want more AoE because I'm doing a lot of events on this stream, but largely that's not what those builds I'm interested in about mostly. Right, 55 seconds. Here's my next lesson. Oh, I don't actually give one. They didn't write lessons out for all this. I'll just give a bit of generic dialogue. And then we fight the guys again. I like the idea of powerful synergy being better. Oh, is powerful synergy even in the game anymore? Did they remove it? Wasn't that a tactics trait? No, it's still there. I like the idea of a powerful synergy build that uses well finishes somehow. I'm not sure what that would be. I guess Destruction of the Empowered is actually okay in PvE for these areas of PvE because the Risen do actually give themselves boons. Alright, the instructor arrived. Oh, and we got to kill him as well. This is what happens to those who question the irrefutable majesty of Palawa. Yeah, Staff Thief with Invigorating Precision. I don't know what my favorite open world build is right now. I don't know whether it's Invigorating Precision PP, Deadeye, or whether it's the Staff build. Do you really believe in the Staff build very, very deeply? If you do, I'll trust in that and I'll give it more of a shot. Alright, we gotta go. The doppelganger's spawning. Hopefully I'm on the same server shard as you guys. Whoever's been reporting this to me. Okay, the doppelganger is down here. So we go to this waypoint. No tags are at it yet, so we're just starting. Okay. This is such a cool event as well, you know. I love that it actually picks a player somewhere, and that's where it will spawn, and it will be that player. Mr. Yapper. Like, what a cool idea, seriously. Oh, he's in the Zodiac stuff as well. You get, like, his nameplate art. It's really good. I guess I'll throw some CCs. Okay, his bar's broken. This guy's got quite a challenging break bar too. This time it worked out pretty well in the end, right guys? Quite happy with that. Obviously, we're not going to do that much damage on a build like this. Is this more damage than an auto attack? I don't know. I can't mouse over them and see while in combat. All these non-crits as well. I'm going to need to make a lot more assassin gear. I should really look into that. Oh, can I get a full counter proc off of some of those ads? No. I should really look into setting that up now that I've got all the reset stats on my account. Again, it's a blessing, really, so see whether I can go for that. So if I could get a full counter proc, I could start double eviscerating, and that would be kind of cool. Instead, or quad eviscerating, I guess, actually. Instead, I'll just get 2 per weapon swap. Bit more CC. God, the damage we're doing is really grinded to a halt here. It's scaled to a level, I think, where his health's kind of nuts. He hasn't actually landed a single attack on me. Not one. It's not that I've got epic support and barrier. It's just he hasn't actually hit me. I do also have epic support and barrier. There you go, the Sky Scale of Courage. So just to be clear, we need 2. We need to visit the dead at the Bone Palace. Let's go see if that's down now, the Bone Wall. This got kind of intense at the end here. There was like all these gates we had to do. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that entire situation we were in there wasn't very cinematic. Definitely, but hey. Oh, this is nice. We've got the peaceful Path of Fire music playing in the desolation. There you go. It's down. Nice. Go for it, Jackal. Bacon's All Mine said he just did the event. Thanks, man. You really helped out there. That's brilliant. So that's death done. And the last Sky Scale is we're going to put the egg at Pact Command in Dragonfall and tell our egg how we defeated Kralkatorrik. And that, to me, actually feels like a brilliant one to sort of finish the whole collection on. So back to Dragonfall, back to the new map for the first time. Obviously, we're not going to do that on Natalie. Who was it we started all of this on? I guess let's do it on Liz. WPV, what's my favourite PvP class build? It just depends what I've been playing of a lot recently. I end up feeling like I want something else. So, like, if I play something that doesn't have very much mobility or rotation capacity, I end up wanting to play very fast-moving stuff. If I play a lot of fast-moving stuff, I eventually decide that I want to be able to 1v1 people. If I play a lot of 1v1ing stuff, sometimes I'll decide I want more damage and I want to, you know, fuck shit up. Sometimes I'll decide if I've been doing that and I'm dying and I'm melting constantly and no firebrands I ever get or tempests I ever get that are remotely good, I'll think maybe I should learn that. Maybe I could be good at that. And I just never stick on anything enough. Pact Command, it's here, right? So it's on the airship. What I hope is a stationary airship. Yeah, the stationary one. The dyes on this are pretty hideous, I have to say. I'll have to sort that out. Fresh Air I've played a lot of. Fresh Air is probably a variant that I've got most of on my account. Like, here's my pie chart. I have 6,700 games on Ellie, which is 40% of my total playtime. And of that wedge, a good 2/3 of it will be Fresh Air. The rest will be Tempest support, Dagger from the early days. Actually, maybe only half of that is Fresh Air. Maybe. So yeah, that's my most I've played. Mesmer is my second most at almost 3,000 games. So yeah. All right, there you have it. Report back to Gorick. Wait, is that report back to Gorick? Quest completed. Find Gorick in the Sun's Refuge. Oh, of course, right. I second guessed myself because I looked at the minimap and I didn't see the icon. I was like, what? But I realized I didn't see that because it's the Sun's Refuge now. Am I down for some skirmishes? No, not really. Not so much at the moment. Just got back from your driving lesson. Hey, congrats on the driving lessons, Alicia. Congratulations. Good luck with it. That brings me back to a happy time. What's so exciting when you're getting your driving lessons done? So full of possibility. How do you feel about the state of Mesmer after all the nerfs now? It feels like it got pushed kind of hard. I'd like it. I wouldn't even be sad to see a little bit more nerfing. Just a little bit. No, actually, no. I think it's good. I think they can leave it where it is now, actually. Having reflected on it. And I say that knowing it's no. They could nerf it a little bit more. I think it's a totally medium class right now. I think it's a medium class, and when you go to tournaments, it's probably a bit of a weak class at the moment. Probably. No, well, no, I don't know, because you can get portal value back when you take it into tournaments. So I don't know. I think it's an okay though. But you have to remember, my entire viewpoint, my entire belief about Mesmer is that it should be fundamentally slightly lower than the bar. It should take geniuses to play Mesmer well and to make it work. Because otherwise you get this hideous like aesthetic to the game where there's just clones everywhere and unfun stuff. I think it's fundamentally unfun, and as a result, I think that it should be fundamentally a little bit weaker. So it is viable, but only in the hands of people who really work it.
You're back! And the egg appears no worse for wear. I'll return it to the incubator straight away.
And that's a perspective that I think a lot of people don't care for. They think if it's in the game, it has to be exactly perfectly equally viable. But living in the real world, you know that things are going to shatter into tier lists. And I think that Mesmer should be on the lower half of that list always. Okay, you're back. The egg appears no worse for wear. I'll return it to the incubator straight away. Hold on, let me record this locally as well. Cho, by the way, I'm going to close the stream in a second.
No worse for wear. I'll return it to the incubator straight away.
And of course, there hasn't been a crash. So yeah, what happens now? We wait. If we're correct, the egg should be hatching very soon. Unless we're not, in which case it won't. Either way, I'll be in touch. Love the optimism. Keep me apprised, Goric. Keep me apprised! I am Patrick Stewart. I am Captain Picard. Okay, saving Sky Scales. The egg goes in. Oh, look, it's got like a little incubation animation and everything. Oh, we got to get this detail for the video. Oh, look, can I see a little wing in there, maybe? Cheeky little wing. Beautiful. That thing is going to power creep me one day. One day. Alright. So you have it, guys. That's the Sky Scale done. And I'm guessing this is a mail from Goric, but we will look at that on the next part. So thanks, everybody. We went on like an hour longer than normal there, but I think it was worth it. The model in the egg is a slubling, is it? Interesting. That's about it. So, WP, Mesmer is my second played class. Also, WP, I think Mesmer should shake a genius play. No, I've only played Mesmer when it's been too strong, because I'm not a genius. So, I'm definitely not saying that. Just to have a look, a lot of you guys followed today. Just so that you know, I do this every morning. I think we got some new people because of that host earlier. Again, thanks so much for the host. Anybody who enjoys this every day, same time, I'm here. Morning streams, come get some coffee, enjoy yourselves. We have a Discord where announcements of when I go live, videos I make, all that kind of stuff, good discussion is available. You can get into the guild through that Discord as well. I really implore you to do that. Also, money's really tight lately, and so if you are interested in supporting me and helping me in funding this, I have a Patreon campaign that I really, really, really want people to consider if they haven't. So, yeah, that's it. I think, looking at subs, we had a sub from Dresden RK, MNM779, Anonymous with the tip that we already read out. Deekson again with the host. I don't know if you're still in chat, but thank you. Bambi Bunny had a sub earlier. Jules tested out a donation. So did Darg. That was before the stream, really. And there you go. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you for the next one tomorrow.